that run and start. Good morning. We have a busy day ahead today.
We do. We've got a rental car. We've got a lot of errands to run here in Nassau because we're leaving tomorrow.
Finally. I feel like we've been in Nassau for a long time.
We have. We've been here a little too long, in my opinion, but we've gotten a lot done while we've been here. It's just been a good place to kind of drop anchor and work. So
yeah, exactly. So that's what we've done. But before we do all of the things that we have to do today, we're gonna get a quick workout in.
We're gonna take you guys along with us today. I hope you enjoy it.
Dixie found this ball in the bushes yesterday, and now she's just gone and gotten it out of the dinghy. But we know she's gonna run the beach with us, and she's gonna end up dropping this in the water and losing it. So we're gonna put this right here, and hopefully she doesn't knock over the camera.
Running in the sand is so much harder.
It's such a challenge.
But
Good challenge.
it's a good challenge. You know, one of the things that disappoint us most about the Bahamas, we've kind of talked about it in other videos, but it's the amount of plastic.
Oh my goodness.
It is everywhere. We're just running this beach here at Atlantis, and just within the, 200-yard beach, the amount of plastic is just insane.
I know.
Like, we have a little pile going over here.
I made that yesterday.
And so there's a few things that you probably just saw as we were running on the beach, but we're gonna grab those items and bring them over here as well. All we can really do with the plastic is just at least try and take it out of the water and pile it up somewhere where hopefully one of the landscapers or someone will come and grab it.
I picked up a couple things yesterday in the water just by our dinghy, but like you said, we've talked about it before. If I picked up all the trash, we would have so much trash on our boat, and we don't want to bring nasty trash that's come out of the ocean and sand and whatever back into the boat. If it was a remote island, maybe we'd build a campfire and just, burn the plastic. We seem to think that's a pretty good solution, but this is in the middle of Nassau, so that's not exactly an option here. So
it's crazy, and every day it's just as much plastic as the day before. So like, Bahamas people, please.
No,
your country is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Please get better with your trash. Starbucks and all these other big organizations got together and they said, hey, we're gonna outlaw plastic straws. And I vividly remember I was doing a construction site in downtown St. Pete, and the city commissioners got together and voted on outlawing straws in downtown St. Pete. And what was so funny, or I shouldn't say funny, I should say ironic, is that while they were voting on plastic straws, one of the city commissioners, they're all sitting there in front of everyone, and there's a picture of the city commissioner with a water bottle on the desk. And I just thought, how ironic is it that we're worried about all these little straws, yet we're all still picking up the plastic water bottles? It just doesn't all add up. Plastic is plastic, and I hate the paper straws just as much as anyone else, but we've got to do something a little bit better than worry about these little straws. We've got to worry about everything. Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3. Better move. Hey babe, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Looks a little different today.
Yeah. We've been parking our dinghy the last couple days at Antique, the little bar here, floating bar, just past the bridge, the Sydney Pointer Bridge, also known as the bridge to Paradise Island. And the owner here is such a kind man, Troy. He's let us park here, and so last time we actually had dinner here, which the food is really good.
So Emily was just talking about, as we were pulling up, Troy here. This is Troy, and this guy has got one heck of a place. It's a little quiet right now, but that's because it's in the morning.
Yeah,
Here,
exactly.
yesterday afternoon, this place was absolutely packed, and we had the food, and it was amazing. We had some chicken, as well as some quesadillas that were just bomb. They were so good. And Troy has been super nice to help us with making phone calls and getting things arranged, as well as allowing us to keep our dinghy here. So if any of the cruisers are watching, come to Troy. He's right up underneath the bridge here at the Floating Tiki Bar.
The Antique Floating Bar.
Antique Floating Bar, that's it.
It is, right?
There's your little plug. Anyone is wondering, Vertigo is the cheapest rental car company on the island that I could find, and a compact car is going to run you $44 to $48, a little less than $50 a day. And as you guys see in our previous videos, rental car, or just taxis alone are so expensive. So it's so much, it's just worth going and getting a rental car. It's not a fast process by any means. You can't just go there and like 10 minutes later walk out with the keys. Like, everything just takes time.
Island time.
Everything just takes time in the Bahamas. And this guy just stole my parking spot, so we'll have to go back around. But yeah, it's easier just to rent the car and go run all your errands.
And cheaper too. Like, we were doing our island tour just a few days ago, and just realized that it's cheaper overall if you just rent a car and go around town yourself.
So check out this headlight. It's being held on, I think, by these drywall screws. So now you have to understand the cars in the Caribbean, or specifically here in the Bahamas, I should say. There's like a 70 or 80% tax on cars. So you can't expect them to be like super nice. When you see a nice car, you're like, whoa, that guy paid 3 times as much for the vehicle, because you gotta pay for the vehicle, get it here, and you have to pay the taxes on it. The mole at Marathon. Certainly not a walkable distance from the marinas or cruise ships, but it is not that far. Oh, looky there, Auntie Anne's. That's a familiar thing.
Oh, they got cookies everywhere we go.
So we are in Kelly's, which reminds me a lot of what I knew as a kid as Sears. They have a little bit of everything. They have a large hardware selection. They have a large home goods and section. We're here looking at coffee makers because our French press broke a couple weeks ago, and so just kind of figuring out like which direction do we want to go here, because it's not cheap by any means. French press like what we had at home is $53, and I wish I remember what they were on Amazon when we bought ours.
Sounds like it's more here.
But definitely sounds like it's more. I would assume it's more as well. And then we're like, well, should we just go with a traditional coffee machine? Does take up more space? And we already have the coffee grinder.
I know,
So it's like,
I bought that right before we left because I was so excited to grind my own coffee.
So, I mean, I feel like we have to go with the French press. And then we can go with the small French press, which would be great for the cabinet space. But this is like 2 cups max. And it would be great for Emily and I, but if we ever have anybody on the boat, that means we're like making coffee over and over again. I don't know. I'm kind of, what do you think?
Thanks, babe.
Of course.
decided to go with the 8-cup French press because right before I left, I bought a grinder and I ground up a whole bunch of coffee. So I'm excited to use it. I might have a cup of coffee, real coffee, for the first time in several weeks today.
But there was something specific on why I chose this one.
Oh yeah, because it says it's the unbreakable one. Unbreakable French press,
Wait.
8-cup.
Where's the say that?
Right here.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Unbreakable. That's what we're going for.
So we'll see if the bonjour coffee and tea French press
Whew, it is
is
hot.
indeed unbreakable. Yeah, it
We
is.
gotta get- We're in the area known as, or what we know as Fish Fry. And that's where all of these little restaurants and bars are just stacked in one after another in kind of like a half circle here, just outside of downtown Nassau. And Emily and I came here 2 years ago when we had just gotten engaged. We stayed the night here in Nassau prior to going to the south part of the Bahamas, to Long Island. And we came and had dinner here and met the gentleman that owns the restaurant. And his name is Goldie. And
The restaurant's name is Goldie's.
yes, so
And
we are heading to Goldie's for lunch, and we're hoping that maybe Goldie's there because we had an awesome conversation with him and really enjoyed our time there.
He probably doesn't remember him, but you better believe we're gonna ask. Woo! That may be the hottest jerk chicken I've ever had. Like, my lips are burning.
Both Emily and I like spicy stuff, but oh my gosh.
Oh, we could not get to the car and get our waters fast enough.
And the server forgot about us.
And we're sitting there like
No water, nothing
on
to drink, and
fire.
just-
like sweating. You've blown your nose a couple times.
oh, clean out your sinuses.
Whew, if you need a sinus clearing out, just go to Goldie's and order the jerk chicken.
It was really good.
It was really good, but it
But-
was really hot.
I would get 4. I see the sign here. It says Eggland's cage-free large brown eggs for $4.59. I'm like, what in the world? That's a great price. And then I grab a dozen of them and I look at it. And it says $9 and a penny, 9.01 on the actual thing. So of course I had to grab someone here who is checking. It is for
$4.59.
Huh?
all right, so that's a good deal then.
Yeah.
All right,
It's the original price.
the original price.
It's a
So
special price.
so that means we need to eat them pretty quick then, because they've been sitting there a little long.
We're shopping for our dairy products and we're noticing quite a spike compared to what you see in the US. And the reason for that is everything that comes into the Bahamas comes in through either Freeport or Nassau, and there's 6 major regions of the Bahamas, which is then broken up into 700 islands. So think about all of that food being imported and then having to be distributed all throughout the country. Now granted, a lot of these islands aren't inhabited, but these 6 major ones, they are, and that food's got to be distributed, and they're basically, the more hands it touches, the price goes up. So here in Nassau, we're seeing that here already, and we are just trying to stock up so when we do keep going farther south, we have what we need for at least the time being. We're not going to be able to get away with never shopping again, but we're trying to stock up on what we need while we're here in Nassau. A grocery haul takes on a whole new meaning when you have to haul it all to the dinghy, put it on the dinghy, and bring it back to the boat. This is the first time doing this. And we are loaded down.
This is the first time doing this, you're right. Like this. So yesterday when we went to the store, we were given these coupons or stamps. And we didn't know what they were for. The lady just kind of handed them to Emily as we were walking out the door, and she's like, bring these back next time with you, you can save money. Okay, fine. So we take them back with us today. We hand them to the lady, and the lady goes, I can't do anything with these. And we're like, well, we were told to bring them back. So she goes, well, you got to use a card. And we're like, what? She's like, you got to use a card. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. So she goes and like, she brings back these cards. And so basically, you have to take 12 stamps. These are the stamps. And I don't know how many we have on here, but based on the amount of money you spend, they give you a certain amount. And 12 stamps, you gotta individually place them. I hope they are like stickers, I'm hoping. You gotta individually place them here. If not, we're gonna need a lot of Elmer's glue. And then we take this one card in, and you get $1 off your bill. So, after today, we've got, well, let's just do a,
That's like as tall as I am.
we could do a chain like Flava Flav, right?
Yeah, boy!
I just need a clock. But nevertheless, we've got a lot of stamps. And I honestly, I don't see how you put, like, they're not sticky. So, I don't know how you...
Them.
Let's try it. Yeah, I think you're right.
Since we have all this floor storage, I like to write on the cans because it makes it so much easier whenever we open up the floor here to see what exactly is on top without having to dig everything out. It's just an easy way to stay organized. So I'm gonna put these, we like to put all of our canned beans and things like that. These are some green pigeon peas that we got today. And I'm gonna put this in the floor here. So this actually used to be our escape hatch. And I know, before y'all go in the comments section saying those idiots covered up their escape hatch, let me explain. So our escape hatch has been leaking ever since literally day one of having the boat, our Gulf crossing. It was leaking then, we've tried to fix it, it kept leaking, and it smelled really bad. Every time you'd open up the floor, it just would hit you in the face. Water that's been sitting in there. So since the door is right here, we actually thought, well, if you could get out of the escape hatch in an emergency, you should be able to get out of the door. And actually Leopard doesn't even make the escape hatch here anyway anymore, so it just made sense. It's given us this much more storage that otherwise we didn't have before. And since we took out the wine fridge to add in another freezer, it's essentially like we got that cabinet back. So it's really nice. This is one of my favorite upgrades we've made to the boat, just because I like to have everything tucked away nice and neat. And then you'll see when I put these in here, you can see from the top exactly what it is, and I don't have to take everything out. So it really makes a huge difference.
All right, so we got both receipts, and when I say both receipts, it's because if you guys watched the last video, or the one that's right up here, we went and did all of our protein shopping yesterday, and we spent $359.
Yeah.
Today was all of our fruits, veggies, frozen, and dairy, all of the, and dry goods.
Yep.
And that was $562. So a grand total of $921. And we are expecting that food to last us for a month.